Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. It has been one of those weeks. It has been full of ups and downs and ins and outs, but through it all, God is still on the throne, and God is still doing what God do. Are you still doing what God has called you to do? But anyway, this show is going to be a little bit different tonight, because as we embark upon this month, March, I know most of you have not been here before, March 2018. So I think I can tell you that, first of all, this is going to be a show where we're going to talk about specifically what can we do as a community to empower, to restore, to enlighten those who are broken, those who are mentally challenged, those who may be going through. So, and then I also want to say to all of you beautiful queens out there, Happy International Women History Month. So basically we want to say to all of you sisters who have stepped up and did all the good work that you've been doing for us men and our children and our community, thank you for doing the work that you've been doing. We love you. God bless you. And I'm glad I'm not a woman. All right? Believe that, because you all put the work in. But I want to thank you all in all seriousness. And this show, again, as I alluded to, Fathers Who Care, thank you all for following us for so many years. And thank you for the good work that you was doing. I want to thank the young people for always tailing behind. But we want to empower these young folks. We want to keep them geared up. We want to keep them prayed up. And we want to keep them rooted. So the best way we keep our young folk from picking up guns and illegal substances is give them positive things to do. Because young people can't be what they can't see. So if we want young people to be the best that they can be, then give them something good to do. So I figure, call in tonight, talk to some of the young folks, tell them hello. They'll be on the line. The number's on the screen, 312-738-1060. Of course, now I'm ready and waiting to get into this show. I want to talk to my guest this evening, Dr. Sylvia Pullman. Pull them in. We're going to have some fun tonight. Anyway, I want to talk about specifically, the topic tonight is going to be how can we restore, empower, enrich those who have been downtrodden, those who may have been incarcerated, those who may have been broken, those who may have been abused, those who may be going through some challenges. I know you exist. And we was talking earlier, and I asked a question about mental health. Yeah. Now we have to put the carrot out there that neither of us are licensed clinicians in the field of diagnosing someone who may be clinically, ill. Yeah. All right, be it psychologically, it's schizophrenia, bipolar, we're not clinically capable of saying it, but we are capable of saying that we all are a little bit off. All right, can we say that? Amen. We all got a little bit of something going on. So my something ain't no better than your something, but we all got something. And I know for a fact that if we all embrace the fact that we all come short, all of us come short, then we won't be pointing fingers. Right. Instead, we'll be trying to empower and enlighten and elevate. So let's do that tonight. Let's have some fun tonight as we talk specifically about what can we do to empower each other. I know we can do it. I mean, it's done. Mm-hmm. But we have to really accept that. We have to accept the fact that we need each other and to empower each other. And so what we want to do tonight, specifically, we want to talk to our guests. I'm going to present to some and introduce to others, none other than, as I alluded to earlier, Dr. Sylvia Begay-Pullman. And as I said before, she's going to talk more about who she is, but I'm going to just start off with a little bit. I think personally that she's a mother. I believe that she's anointed. I believe that she has a heart. I believe she's been called. I think she has the passion to want to go back into the vineyards and get those who have been lost. I think her spirit has been shaken and the Lord has elevated her. You got to go through something to get to something. So he got to shake you from something to make you for something. All right? That's right. So I believe that. And I felt it in the conversation that we were having. And I figured it was high time that we talk to some of our queens out here. Mm-hmm. And some of those men, we're not isolating you, but specifically the queens, our sisters. We need you to be the best women that you can be in order to make the best daughters that you can be. Is that fair? That's fair. We can't expect your daughters to be on point if you're not on point. It looks like we got some guests, and we're going to get those guests. But what I'll do first is I want to say to you specifically, Doc, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you for holding on and staying the course in spite of all that may be happening in and around. Thank you for not allowing those negative spirits to shake you, but to make you, right?
Yes.
Because we said earlier, what don't break you, make you, right? And you got to go through something to get to something. So what we want to do when we come back after this caller, we want you to tell us who is. Now take your time. We want to know who is Sylvia. Not Dr. Pullman, all right? Not the evangelist, not the prophet, not the advocate, none of that. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
We want to know who are you. Let's get that caller in. Caller, you a comment or question? Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Sylvia Begay-Pullman. And we want you to know that we're here tonight to address your concerns on what can we do as we move forward to engage, to empower, to enlighten, to fit those who are physically and mentally maybe incarcerated and in need of healing, restoration, and re-engagement. Now, listen to what I'm saying. What can we do as a community, right? Yeah. To empower those who may be physically and mentally incarcerated. That means you don't necessarily have to be in a cell. You're already in a cell in your mind because you're locked up. You can't be who you want to be. But let's get the caller. Caller, you on there. Your comment or question, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, every time when people protest and some of these politicians don't get things done, and they get friendly meetings, tell like they go do this, and then what do you keep on protesting and stuff? I was going to ask your guest that.
Now, I think I heard something about a protest, right?
Protest, yeah.
Right.
Every time when people protest and some of these politicians don't get things done, they're doing that in front of the media. And I was wondering, take a guess what you think about that.
Well, let me say this, though. Let me just preference this. The guest is here tonight to talk about what we can do. We ain't even talking about no politicians tonight, all right? We don't even care nothing about talking about no politicians tonight. We want to talk about the lay people tonight. We want to talk about what can we do tonight to help those who feel like as if they've been left out, who've been shut out. Now, if that's where you're going with that, then by all means we'll answer that question, or you can.
That's where I'm going with it.
Huh?
That's where I'm going with it.
Okay, go ahead then.
Okay, and then when they keep on protesting, then what do you keep on protesting? Then some of these politicians don't get things done.
Okay, we got you. You want to go with that?
Well, let me just say, because I am who I am, if you don't put any footwork with it, then how can you expect anything to be done? That's just like sitting on a couch saying, I'm believing for my lights to be turned on, but you're not putting any footwork into it.
Right.
Now, if you're not a part of the solution, then you're what? Part of the problem.
I like that one.
So you must be proactive as opposed to reactive. So when you're proactive, that means that things take place.
Right.
You're putting a remedy to what it is. So if there's a situation that you have a problem with or a challenge with, then instead of just talking about it, let's do something to change that atmosphere.
And we used to use those saying, and I'll share it. Don't talk about it, be about it. Well, I knew you knew.
Yes.
I knew that was going there. Yes. But anyway, the guy was talking about the politicians, and right now,
yeah.
All right, period. All right, with that now. All right, I'm up there with it because I've seen it's all over. Right, I mean nothing's on television right now but politics, and it is what it is. But I want to talk tonight, if you don't mind, on what can we do in spite of all of that to empower those who are lost. To empower those who are broken, to empower those who may have been through some things, and we know they're going through because we go through. So if we go through, we know others go through. But it ain't what you go through, it's how you go through. All right. So let's talk tonight. Who is? They won't let you go. You see that? Do you want that call, or you want to tell us who you are first?
Well, let me just say this.
And then we'll go to the caller.
And then we can go. There's so much that can be shared on tonight, and I really appreciate that because the people need answers.
Right.
We're here, we're talking, but we need to come with a solution. When it comes to the mind that you were talking about, the brokenness, you have to be able to understand when someone is in crises, how to reach them right where they are.
And that's where we are tonight.
Yes.
So we're using this show to first say thank you, mothers,
Thank
for all
you.
the work that you're doing. Enjoy this day, enjoy this month, enjoy the year. But let's get back into what we want to talk about tonight. We want to talk about how can we empower those who are broken, those who may be going through some challenges, those who may have been previously incarcerated, those who may be formerly incarcerated, whatever that might be. That's nothing, because in life we all are ex something.
Yes.
Trust me, we are.
Yes.
All of us are ex something, we just don't talk about it. So we got those who online, Gwendolyn, we got Quintella, we got Florida, we got all of you people on the Facebook. Call in right now, 312, forgive me, 738-1060, and the office number 773-287-5821. We have Dr. Begay-Pullman, Begay-Pullman.
Yes.
So come on, let's go to it. Let's talk about it. So talk to me now about what can we do to if folks are spiritually broken or spiritually deficit, and they need to be elevated. What can we do to elevate folks who have given up?
Okay. So
Be it mentally, physically, or what have you.
Emotionally.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me just say that empowering others is my mission.
Okay.
Because
there
when
you
I
go.
was broken, shattered on my back,
Okay.
didn't have anyone to reach out to me or to come with a solid solution. There's so
Right.
many people talking nowadays, but to come with an actual remedy, that became my mission.
Okay.
So not only meeting someone where they're at, but also taking the time out to have empathy for people. You know,
Right,
with what's
right.
going on in the world today,
Right.
there's a lack thereof
Of caring.
of caring, and the heart is grown
Yeah.
cold
Yeah.
when it comes to people. But one thing I learned, a very wise man said to me years ago, that, you know, when the violence was taking place, and we would say, well, it's not happening in my neighborhood, so I'm okay with it.
Right.
But be very careful, because time will pass and it will come to a city near you.
Now
So-
you're an author.
Yes, published author.
You're an author. You're a mother
Yes,
of
I am.
five.
Of five.
You're an advocate
Yes.
for social change.
Yes, I am.
You're a life coach. You're married.
Yes, happily.
You're a servant for social change and community empowerment.
Yes.
And you just want to be a beacon of light for those who may have lost their way.
Yeah.
So if people are going through some things, if people feel that their lives have been shattered, if people feel like they have been broken, and people wanted to talk to you because of your compassion and because you have been through some things they think, what can we say to them today, right now, to let people know that you understand that they're going through something? Or
Yeah.
can we
Yeah.
talk
yeah.
to that?
Yeah, we can be
Go ahead.
real with that.
Go ahead.
Well, let me just say that the person that you see here today is not the person I started out to be.
Okay.
You're looking at some of the aftermath, okay? And I'm not finished. I'm not a finished work just yet. But
Work in progress.
work in progress.
Yeah,
But
good.
one thing I
Yeah.
can share with you is that when I was totally broken, mentally broken, because there's always a starting point. Not having anyone, I didn't have a Dr. Begay-Pullman to talk to me and encourage me in that area. It took that particular
But
shattering.
you look so refined.
Well, that's with words.
So what have you been through, sister? Who are
Oh,
you?
what have I been
Yeah,
through?
and do this
Ooh.
here. Think about that, because you got people ringing the phones
Yes,
off the hook.
yes.
Give me another caller for Dr. Pullum. Give me a call.
Yes, a great show as always. My name is Ray. You know, sir, you speak from the heart. So when you speak from the heart, you're telling the truth. But you know, a lot of these young guys were never shown any love when they were young. So maybe that's why they went astray. So when they get out, the whole community has to love him. If you own a business, hire him. You know, in this way, just show him a little bit of love that he never had before, and maybe he'll be able to, go straight with a little bit of love, because he never had any when he was young.
I appreciate that. And if you don't mind, can I just
Go ahead.
bring that to you?
Yes.
Now, you were saying how you been through some stuff. Go ahead. Take it like you was going somewhere with that.
Well, I take it that the caller has been incarcerated. Let me raise my hand. I
Yeah.
too have been incarcerated. Oh, yes.
Okay.
I was incarcerated physically, on clink lockdown. Yeah. And this
Yeah.
is not, it wasn't Wakanda. It was chains.
No,
it was
Wakanda.
handcuffs. It was handcuffs.
You said it wasn't Wakanda.
Okay, 7.5
Go
years. Due to domestic violence and not making the right choices.
Okay.
The man that I dated. Now, let me just say that this man was not the one who caused all of the abuse. And that's why I'm an advocate now for domestic violence and any type of abuse. But he was the straw that broke the camel's back,
Okay.
the proverbial straw.
Okay.
And so incarceration is where I learned myself. I had to go back to the root of the thing. So when you mentioned what about the love, showing them love, I can truly relate because after and upon release, knowing that I reinvented myself in prison. So I started the doctorate in prison. Yes. I decided that I was not, as they say, going to let the time do me, but I was going to do the time.
Right.
And I also had the wherewithal to know that because I didn't have a life sentence that I could turn it around. Just know that prior to prison, I was working on a degree for paralegal. So I had some smarts, but I didn't have the relationship smarts.
Right.
So I totally understand where you're coming from. There are a lot of laws out here now that are changing and that have changed to allow for us to work and not have a background check. And that's what I would like to instill on this particular time is that there's so many resources that you can tap into for the ex-offender. Now, when you think about that ex-offender piece, ex meaning that you were once something.
Something.
So don't look at it as an X on your back.
Right.
Look at it as
A formal.
formal,
Right.
the past.
And say, if any man be
in Christ,
he
new,
old thing,
passed away,
behold,
all things
become
new.
Watch out. Go on, girl.
See,
Go on.
so
Go on.
I refused to allow people to stigmatize me because I knew that I had a future, because I had enough wherewithal to know if I went through that, that was hell for me. Kids had never been separated but for us going to school and to work. So 7.5 years of being separated from my babies, and my youngest was 11 months old when I went
Right,
in.
right.
So just think about how the mind that I had said, you know what, I'm not taking this lying down. I'm going to reinvent so that when I come out with all the resources on the inside now, I didn't spend my time, as they say, tricking off.
Right.
I knew that I had a purpose.
So if a person, well, obviously they're waiting on the line to talk to you.
Yeah.
So if a person is obviously watching and listening, and they're in need of some assistance, if they're in need of some intervention, I'm
Okay.
not going to go necessarily to say clinical intervention,
Right.
but if they do, we have resources and
Yes.
referrals that we can refer them to.
Yes,
But if they
definitely.
need to talk to someone who's open, who's kind, who's considerate, who's compassionate, who's listening, right? Has a listening ear.
Yes.
How could one get in touch with you? And I wanted to go here and I want to talk about some things that I heard about that you're involved in. Specifically, I hear that you're an administrator with God's on the Move, not-for-profit.
Yes.
I heard that you was involved in an organization that you were extremely fond of called Shattered Vessels and Broken Arrows.
Yes.
And so I thought that was real keen for tonight because what we wanted to do tonight is touch some hearts. Love is good. Love is good, but if you don't know love, then you don't know love. All right? If you don't know love for yourself, then you can't love someone else.
That's true.
That's
true.
another show.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is I want you to tell us, so if a person is watching, how could they get in touch with you?
Well, you can call me on my cell phone number, my business cell, 773-557-0691, 773-557-0691, and or by email.
Okay.
Sylvia, Sylvia .Begay, Begay at ymail.com.
So, and if you missed that, log on to Fathers Who Care, call Fathers Who Care, Google Fathers Who Care, Twitter Fathers Who Care, Instagram Fathers Who Care, all of that social media stuff, Fathers Who Care, and we'll give you the information to Sylvia. But Sylvia, let me get back to this here. Let's get this caller. Caller, you on the air, and we want to get back to Sylvia because I feel the passion and I don't want you to miss it. Go ahead, caller, your comment or question.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I miss you.
Okay, this is Griffin.
I love you, Miss Griffin.
And you know what? I'm glad you guys are on there. We've met together. I work with domestic violence, been working with it since the program started, with the CAPS program. That's where mental health needs to be addressed, and I'm fighting like mad because we need men included with domestic violence. It's not just a female issue.
This is true.
It's
Well-
a male issue, and so wonderful seeing you, doctor, and thank you much.
Well-
And keep up the good work.
Thank you, Ms. Griffin, and that's why we have, well, you all know me from being on the show. I'm just going to continue to work until he say, well done, my good and faithful servant. Come on and get your rest.
Yes.
But before he take me to get my rest, I want to go to Hawaii first. Some other places before you take me on home, Lord. You know, give me some trips. Caller, you on the air. You're coming to question. I love you, but ain't ready to go. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, doctor. Hey, how you doing, Reverend?
Hey.
Well, you got a nice lady sitting next to you.
Thank you. What's your question?
You got a success story sitting next to you. That's what you got.
Yes, sir. Is it
Yes,
like
sir. Yes, it's Paula calling.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was suggesting about the young people that go into incarceration. Sometimes they make a mistake, but when those people go in, they got skills. Sometimes they make a mistake, and when
Yes.
they get out, they ain't got nowhere to put those skills back.
So what's
They
your
need
question
to-
tonight?
They need to make a little bit of money somewhere and make some kind of big center where people could come out where they ain't got nowhere to stay, and also learn some kind of skill in that center so that person can get back up on their feet. It's hard to get up out of jail and have nowhere to go.
Okay.
But if you have somewhere to go,
That's where we
you
at.
might be able to get back up on your feet.
Thank you.
And I praise the Lord, lady. You're doing a wonderful
Thank you.
job.
And she is doing a wonderful job. And not only is she doing a wonderful job, her
And
husband
you
is doing
are
a
too.
wonderful job.
You
And
don't-
all of us that labor for righteousness'
That's
sake is
right.
doing a
That's
wonderful
right.
job. And we're not
Don't
going to
hang
give
up.
up. We're not taking our hands off the plow. We
That's
got to
right.
do the
That's
work
right.
because that's what we called to do. But tonight, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about folks who may be physically incarcerated or have been physically incarcerated, are currently mentally and physically incarcerated. So going back with it, Sylvia, and tell them folks, tell us about what is this, the organization Shattered Vessels and Broken Arrows Community Development Corporation. What is that?
Okay, well, let me just first start by saying I was blessed to be here. I'm happily married, and my husband, Apostle Tyrone Pullman, he is the headship of God's on the Move Ministries
Right.
of the Apostolic Faith and Warfare International. Both ministries are
Not-for-profit?
designed, not for profit,
Go ahead.
designed to empower and support local and international ministries and churches.
Okay.
And so what we do is we license them, we ordain them, and we assist these ministries in their God-given talents and their visions. We develop pastors, preachers, and congregations. Shattered Vessels happens to be the, I guess you can say, the restoration ministry. You have the husband and then you have the wife. And Shattered Vessels is likened to a woman. She's a vessel. Okay? She's a holder of many things.
Right.
The Broken Arrows is the man. So we minister and cater to community.
Shattered Vessels is the woman.
Shattered Vessels.
Broken
Broken
arrows
Arrows
is the man. Okay. So that
Okay.
means that you provide intervention and support to women and men.
And men.
Okay.
Unisex.
Okay.
We don't discriminate. And that in itself is a testimony, because
Right.
when a woman has been abused, there's so much she can hold
And
on
or
to.
a man can
Or
be
vice
abused.
versa.
Right.
But to have a ministry and a testimony to the point where you embrace men now and you teach the brothers. Okay.
So it's domestic violence. Domestic violence is not necessarily always physical. It could be mental.
Oh, definitely.
And do you see men being mentally abused?
Yes. More so than the physical, even financial.
Okay.
You have a man that comes in 6'3". You would never believe it.
That
Police
he's
don't
broken.
believe it, that he's broken, that
Yeah.
the wife is taking everything, the link card, the checkbook, any sense of money that comes in, she wants it because of her hurt.
And his spirit.
His spirit.
All right.
Emasculated.
The money is it is what it is. But when a woman breaks a man spiritually, he's broke.
He's broke.
And it's hard to get him back because the relationship is not supposed to be a relationship where we are currently battling
That's
with each other.
true.
That's supposed to be order.
Yes.
And if you believe in order and you want order, then you submit to order. All right. I didn't say you
That's
submit
true.
to abuse.
Right.
You submit to order.
To order.
So with that being said, so shattered vessels is for the women.
Yes.
That you provide intervention and support to, and broken arrows is for the men who need intervention and support, and your husband can also do it along with you.
Yes, definitely.
So together, both of you all are working to empower folks who have been downtrodden.
That's true.
Those are the least of us.
The least.
Those who are seeking help.
Yes.
Come on, caller, you on there. Caller, you got a comment or question? Do we have any callers? Okay, so listen, what we want to do as we move forward, if people want to get in touch with you, they can get in touch with you by doing what?
They can call me, 773-557-0691, 773-557-0691, or email sylvia.begay@ymail.com.
So if you was going to give someone something encouraging tonight quickly, what would you tell them?
Well, one thing I want to say to you is that you have the ability to transform your life. You don't have to stay broken. You know, all of us go through broke places in life.
Right.
But take all of those broken pieces, every little piece of garbage, get to an organization or a person that can help you to understand that everything that was broken can be put back together again.
Yeah, I like
Whether
that.
it's mentally, physically, financially,
I like that.
sexually, emotionally,
I like that.
psychologically, it can be put back together again.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
So listen, you've been watching Fathers Who Care tonight, and the show kind of got fast on us because of other stuff. But I wanted you to know that we do have help for you, and if you need to talk to Dr. Pullman, you got her here. Call Fathers Who Care. You know the number, 773-287-5821, or log in, or email us, or Twitter us, whatever you need to do. Get in touch with us. But in closing, we want you to know that we love you. God loves you, and all you got to do is keep on loving yourself. Now, you deserve better, ladies and gentlemen. Do better for yourself, and better will come to you. If you don't see it, then that means you ain't working on it, because everything is a test. And we want to thank you, my dear sister, for the work that you're doing. We want to continue to encourage you to stay the course, to stay on the wall, to don't let nothing pull you down. Look, it's been a stone, guys, and we love you so very much. And we'll see you next week, and we'll be still talking about what we can do to empower each other and how to empower each other. God bless you. Good night. And keep the faith. So we'll talk to you on the other side. And with that being said, we're going to come on over here now.